eyes, stripping the clothes from my back even as we waited to be admitted. "Those are the citizens who will be judging Rabirius," muttered Cicero. "The old fool doesn't stand a chance." The steward took our cloaks and showed us into the atrium, then went to tell his master of Cicero's arrival, leaving us to inspect the death masks of Caesar's ancestors. Strangely, there were only 3 consuls in Caesar's direct line, a thin tally for a family that claimed to go back to the foundation of Rome and to have its origins in the womb of Venus. The goddess herself was represented by a small bronze. The statue was exquisite, but scratched and shabby, as were the carpets, the frescoes, the faded tapestries, and the furniture. All told a story of a proud family fallen on hard days. We had plenty of leisure to appreciate these heirlooms as time passed, and still Caesar did not appear. "You can't help but admire the fellow," said Cicero, after he had paced around the room 3 or 4 times. "Here am I, about to become the preeminent man in Rome, while he hasn't even made it to praetor yet, but I am the one who must dance attendance on him." After a while, I became aware that we were being watched from behind a door by a solemn-faced girl of about 10, who must have been Caesar's daughter Julia. I smiled at her, and she darted away. A little while later, Caesar's mother, Aurelia, emerged from the same room. Her narrow, dark-eyed, watchful face, like Caesar's, had something of the bird of prey about it, and she exuded a similar air of chilly cordiality. Cicero had been acquainted with her for many years. All 3 of her brothers, the Cottas, had been consul, and if Aurelia had been born a man, she would certainly have achieved the rank herself, for she was shrewder and braver than any of them. As it was, she had to content herself with furthering the career of her son, and when her eldest brother died, she fixed it so that Caesar would take his place as one of the 15 members of the College of Priests. A brilliant move, as I shall soon describe. "Forgive him, Cicero, for his rudeness," she said. "I've reminded him you're here, but you know how he is." There was a footstep, and we glanced behind us to see a woman in the passage leading to the door. No doubt she had hoped to slip past unnoticed, but one of her shoes must have come undone. Leaning against the wall to refasten it, her auburn hair awry, she glanced guiltily in our direction, and I do not know who was the more embarrassed, Postumia, which was the woman's name, or Cicero, for he knew her very well as the wife of his great friend, the jurist and senator Servius Sulpicius. Indeed, she was due to have dinner with Cicero that very evening. He quickly turned his attention back to the bronze of Venus and pretended to be in the middle of a conversation. "This is very fine. Is it a Myron?" and did not look up until she had gone. "That was tactfully done," said Aurelia approvingly. Then her expression darkened, and she shook her head. "I don't reproach my son for his liaisons. Men will be men, but some of these modern women are shameless beyond belief." "What are you 2 gossiping about?" It was a trick of Caesar's in both war and peace, to appear unexpectedly from the rear, and at the sound of that flint-dry voice we all 3 turned. I can see him now, his large head looming skull-like in the dimming afternoon light. "People ask me about him all the time." "You met Caesar? What was he like? Tell us what he was like, the great god Caesar." "Well, I remember him most as a curious combination of hard and soft. The muscles of a soldier, within the loosely belted tunic of an effete dandy. The sharp sweat of the exercise yard, laid over by the sweet scent of crocus oil. Pitiless ambition, sheathed in honeyed charm. "Be wary of her, Cicero," he continued, emerging from the shadows. "She's twice the politician we are, aren't you, Mamma?" He caught her by the waist from behind and kissed her beneath her ear. "Now stop that," she said, freeing herself and pretending to be annoyed. "I've played the hostess long enough. Where's your wife? It's not seemly for her to be out unaccompanied all the time. Send her to me the moment she returns." She inclined her head graciously toward Cicero. "My best wishes to you for tomorrow. It's a remarkable achievement, to be the first in one's family to achieve the consulship." Caesar watched her go admiringly. "Seriously, Cicero," he said, "the women in this city are far more formidable than the men, your own wife being a fine example." Was Caesar hinting by this remark that he desired to seduce Terentia? I doubt it. The most hostile tribe of Gaul would have been a less grueling conquest, but I could see Cicero bridling. "I'm not here to discuss the women of Rome," he said, "expert though you may be." "Then why have you come?" Cicero nodded to me.